Hey everyone, welcome back to Chaotic Strategies TCG. My name is Trav, and today I'm going over part 2 on how to play Pokemon the card game. Today we're going to be going over all the trainer cards. If you guys are just tuning into the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that way you are always notified about the videos that we are getting pumped out weekly. Okay, just going over a recap of what I went through last week to kick off the card game of Pokemon. You have no more or less than 60 cards in your deck. Draw 7 cards for your opening hand. And remember, if you have no basic Pokemon to put onto the bench or in your active Pokemon slot, you can mulligan, but for every mulligan that you do, your opponent gets to draw a card. Once you have all that squared away, you're going to draw 6 prize cards face down and place them on the left side of your game mat. Once you do that, you're going to place a basic Pokemon in your active Pokemon area and any other basic Pokemon in your bench. Then you guys flip a coin to determine who goes first. And then picking up from there, going into your turn, I'm going to explain all the trainer cards. There's 4 different types of trainer cards and how they work. So let's head on over to the game mat and see how they work. Okay, so last week we ended right before we can use all of our different trainer cards and equipping energy to our Pokemon. So, just like last week, we have Lugia here, who's just a basic normal type Pokemon, which means he can pretty well take any energy that you have. Now, just to recap, there are 9 different energies in the card game of Pokemon. We have Grass, Fire, Water, Lightning, Psychic, Fighting, Darkness, Metal, and Fairy. Now, depending on what type of deck you build, all determines on what kind of energy you run. In my current deck, I run almost all the different energies in my single 60 card deck, but that's because I have a lot of normal Pokemon like Lugia there that can take any kind of energy. Also, you can only place 1 energy on any of your Pokemon, whether it's active or bench. If you place an energy, that's all you get that turn, unless you have a trainer card that specifically says you can add more energy. So, getting into our trainer cards, there's 4 different types of trainer cards, and just like with our Pokemon, you can have up to 4 copies of the same card in your deck. So, the first trainer card that we're going to go over are the items. Your item cards, like the Great Ball here, you can use at as many times as you want to during your turn, okay? And all these do is just kind of help support you. A lot of them have draw power. Like Great Ball here, look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal a Pokemon you find there, put it into your hand, then shuffle the other cards back into the deck. So you can use item cards like this as many times during your turn as you can or as you want to. Our second form of trainer cards are tools. I currently do not have any tools in this deck. I don't run tools in this deck, but tools equip to your Pokemon and they give various effects to your Pokemon. Now, you can play as many tools during your turn as you want to, but only 1 tool card can be equipped to each Pokemon at a time. Our third trainer card is going to be our stadium cards. Okay, our stadium cards are going to get placed up here on the left hand side. Any of our other trainer cards that we used get placed over here to the right, and any tools that we would use get placed underneath our Pokemon. So our stadiums go up here to the left hand side to show that we now have an effect that affects both you and your opponent. So stadiums like Brooklet Hill, once during each player's turn, that player may search their deck for a basic water Pokemon or basic fighting Pokemon and put it onto their bench and then shuffle their deck. So that both you and your opponent can utilize that. You can only have 1 stadium card on the board at a time. So if you placed a stadium card and the next turn your opponent placed a stadium card, that automatically discards your stadium card to the discard pile right on the right hand side of the mat right above your deck. And for our last trainer card, we have our supporters. The support cards are deemed probably the most powerful cards in the game of Pokemon, which is why you can only use them once per turn. So support cards like Cynthia here, you can shuffle your hand into your deck then draw 6 cards. So that's pretty powerful effect there. You're going to discard your hand. It doesn't matter how many. If you have 2 cards in your hand and one of them's her, you can shuffle your other card into the deck and then draw 6 more to keep your plays going. Very brutal cards. So once you have placed an energy on your Pokemon, which you place underneath your Pokemon, any tools that you want to place on your Pokemon, and once you've gone through and played your trainer cards, which is again your items, tools, stadiums, or supports, after you use them, they go to the discard pile right above your deck on the right side. Once you're done playing support, once you're done playing all of your trainer cards, and you have your energy played, if you can attack, you can go ahead and go into the battle phase, which we will get into next week. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week for part 3. Alrighty everyone, and that's my video on how to use trainer cards for Pokemon the trading card game. Remember, you can have 4 copies of each different trainer cards that you have in your deck, as well as you can have 4 copies of each Pokemon in your deck as well. But remember, you cannot have any more or any less than 60 cards in your deck, so you kind of have to pick and choose pretty carefully when you're building your deck. So stay tuned next week where I go over the different types of evolutions that you can utilize within the game, going over just your basic evolutionaries, going through your stages, EX, GX evolutions as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, break that subscribe button, hit that little notification bell so that way you guys are always notified on videos that I'm bringing out to you guys weekly. With that, I hope you guys are staying safe out there, wash your hands, and we'll see you in next week's video.